Hello everyone and happy Valentine's Day to you. I'm wishing you a happy Valentine's Day whether it was happy or not. I don't really know. First order of the day, I have picked a song, I guess you could, well it is a song, but I have picked it as my Valentine's Day song of the day. And I'm not really a big fan of Heart, but I have the song Alone stuck in my head, and that's my song of the day for Valentine's Day 2012. And they actually have the music video on YouTube. You can check it out if you want to. What else happened today? Not much of anything. I tried my best to look the part. Red and black, my favorite colors. Hope you guys had a good one. Happy Valentine's Day to all the couples out there who are in love, because there's always somebody in love and happy and whatever. Here's my thing on Valentine's Day. I'll give you my little take on it. Valentine's Day is great when you're in a relationship and you're happy, whatever. And it's nice to have a change and to get out and do something a little different. I think I'm going to get shaky if I use that hand. And so it's nice to get out and have a change, to go out to a nice dinner or whatever. And what woman doesn't like flowers? I mean, seriously. I love red roses. And I bought some for myself yesterday because no one else was going to buy them. And so, those are nice things about Valentine's Day, whatever. But in the end, I guess the way I feel about it is if you love someone and you care about them, you should show them in little ways every day. You should, hold their hand or tell them you love them before you leave for work or when you come back, or do little things like leave love notes on the bathroom window or a mirror or something like that that say, I love you, have a nice day, or wear your raincoat today because it's going to be stormy. Just stupid little things like that. But when you care about someone, it shouldn't just be one day out of the year that you show them. That day, I guess like Valentine's Day, should be to show them even more. But honestly, I'm kind of bitter towards Valentine's Day. It's probably because I've been single for several years now, and I remember what it was like to get red roses on Valentine's Day. And I think for me, that was probably what meant most, was getting flowers. And even though, if you're in a relationship and you're the woman, you expect to get flowers. But that was what I liked most. And I try and be happy for everyone I see out there that's in love and that things are working out for them. But it makes me feel a little sad inside. And maybe I'm a little jealous. But I don't envy them. I wouldn't wish any bad things to happen to them. And I guess I'm probably bitter because I have loved someone and cared about someone for almost 3 years now, and I'm still alone because he just, I don't know, his mind is on something else, and I don't know, maybe he just doesn't realize what a good catch I am. I don't know. But, so I guess I'm a little bitter on Valentine's Day, but I do try my best, put a smile on my face, and, wear red, because it only happens once a year, and it is still a little fun. What else? Well, I'm going to reveal to you about love, how I feel about it. And I have been in love 3 times in my life. And once it lasted for years, and I still have fond feelings for the person. It started as an elementary school crush. and I continued to care about the person. I mean, at that point when it lasted for years, I would say it was love. But it was a youthful kind of love. There are different kinds of love, and it was youthful. And I ended up going all through my school years with this person and continued having a crush, but not really entertaining anything happening between us, and it never did. And like I said, I'm still, friends with the person now, and I realized that we have nothing in common. So it was one of those things. And then probably I still consider it, although it turned out badly, but some relationships do, I still consider it kind of the love of my life, I think, and the relationship that had the most impact on me. I thought I had found my soulmate, and I might have. But, things change, and sometimes people don't work out together. And I was, head over heels in love for probably close to 7-8 years. But parts of the relationship were mentally abusive, and I finally got out of that cycle and realized that I deserved better. And the third time I've been in love, I'm still in love. I can't, it's just what it is. I'm a hopeless, hopeless romantic. I'd like to say I'm a hopeful romantic, but that doesn't exist. And, I've tried to get this person out of my head, and I've tried to, just think of other things, but there's just something about him, and he's my exact replica, pretty much, in a male, and everything that I look for. And so, I've hoped for several years, and I've waited. And, you could say, well, she's sitting there alone, she's single, she doesn't have to be. Yeah, there are tons of guys that want to go out with me that, whatever, and want to get in my pants. But the thing is, when you fall for someone and you have feelings for them and you care about them as a person, sometimes, you can't, maybe you're blinded. Maybe that's it. I don't know. And yeah, I could be throwing myself out there in the dating world. I could be, having a dating profile. I could be going to clubs, whatever. But that's not my scene. That's not who I am. And that's not the kind of person I want to be with. And I guess I'm not a fan of dating. I feel like it's using someone almost, or giving them a test run, and I don't know. I don't like to use people, and I don't like to be used by them either. What else? Well, let's see, what else do I feel about love? Well, I believe in love at first sight. And I believe in soulmates. Now, whether that happens for both parties involved, that's not always the case. And sometimes, maybe you do find your soulmate, and they're your soulmate too, and sometimes it doesn't work out. It still doesn't mean that they weren't your soulmate. That's the whole meaning of the word, being a soulmate. You know how the other person's feeling without having to talk about it. You can spend moments of silence together and be happy. And you don't always have to be talking. You don't always have to be doing something. That's the thing. You're just spending time together, and that's enough. And I guess some people, never find their soulmate because, yeah, you have a soulmate, but there's billions of people in the world, and maybe you never find them. And sometimes that's how life is. But I believe that when you love someone, accepting, of course, that you're not breaking any laws, that it's not illegal with minors, and I don't think 20-year-olds should be marrying 80 or 90-year-olds, but I think that, hold on a second. I think that age should not matter as much as some people, some people it matters and some people it doesn't matter. But I think that in the end it shouldn't matter, because if you care about someone and if you love them, it shouldn't matter the age difference, excepting, if you're getting to be like 40 or 50 years age difference. That's a little bit taking it too far. But I never used to be attracted to much older men, like a few years younger than my dad. But there's something stable about them. They're not like men my age, and they, most of them have it together. They're not still trying to figure their life out. And that's what I like, the head of the household type, the strong male figure. And, I asked my dad one time, I said, Dad, how do you feel about it? Does it bother you? And he said, no. He said, as long as he treats you right and he cares about you, that's all I'm concerned about. And it felt good to talk to my dad about that. But I think it's because my parents saw me go through so much sadness in my last relationship, that they just want to see the best for me. And if I'm happy with someone, whether it's someone much older or my age, their only concern is that I'm happy and that person is treating me right. So but I think that no matter how young some of us are, I think that age doesn't reflect life experience or the things that you've been through. And I think that sometimes people like myself who are young are, I don't know, I'm young on the outside, but I feel so old on the inside because of things I've seen, things I've done, things that have happened to me. And I hope I'm not zooming in or anything. Let me check this. No, we're good. Sorry. I'm pressing buttons and I don't know what I'm doing. That's my love in life, pressing people's buttons. No, I'm just kidding. But back to what I was saying. It doesn't reflect who you are, and aptly sometimes. Some people, yes, it does, but other people it doesn't. And people have always told me I'm much more mature than my age. And, it's because I thrive on knowledge, and I've always, read things, wanted to know more about different things, whether it was something I was interested in or not, just to make myself a more well-rounded person. And just along with that, and things that, I've experienced that some people will never experience, no matter how old they are. Some people will never be homeless, or I don't know, just some people will never have a miscarriage, things like that. And I may have struggled through those things, and I may have at the time felt very angry, very sad, but in the end I've realized that they make me a stronger person, and they make me who I am. And so I think that when you love someone, when you care about them, that age shouldn't always play such a big part in it. Like I said, when you love someone and you care about them, that's all that should really be the most important. I mean, yes, there are other things involved in a relationship, paying bills, talking about your mortgage, things like that, your jobs, whatever, your kids if you have them, or if one person has kids and your parenting role, things like that. Those things are all important, and they all make a relationship. A relationship is not built on love alone, but for me, I think that's one of the biggest things. Because if you love someone, you will always try and work through things, and they will always fall into place the way they need to, and the way, God wants them to. And, it doesn't always work out the way we want it to. It doesn't. It makes life crappy sometimes, but, we try and do our best. There are a lot of days I feel sad that I wish I, didn't care about somebody, that I didn't love them. But, those are the feelings of my heart, and that's how it is, and I always follow my heart. And sometimes it gets me into trouble, and, sometimes, it hurts, but that's the risk that we take in loving someone else, because we can only control what we do and how we feel, and not how they react, or anything like that. That's all up to them. And it shouldn't stop us from doing things or being the people that we are. I might still feel a certain way about someone, but I'm always true to myself, and I think that I live my life as I wish, and being nobody but myself, and that doesn't make a difference. And I think sometimes people are afraid to get into relationships because they've lived so long for a certain way that they're afraid to change, or they're afraid of change. And I guess you really know if you care about someone, if you love them, if you're willing to make changes for them. Not major changes. That's not what I'm talking about. Not changing who you are, but changing certain things in your life, maybe. Like if you've been alone for a long time. For me, take me example. I've been alone for a long time. I like, the fact that I'm not vulnerable. I'm safe when I'm by myself. And yes, it's very lonely sometimes, and sometimes I do hate it. There's a difference between being alone and lonely, and I don't mind being alone a lot of times, but there are times when I wish I had that special someone there to watch a funny movie, or, to say, hey, this happened at work today, and they're not there. It's just me. And I'm making YouTube videos talking to you. Not that that's a bad thing, but there is a certain loneliness. I have good friends, I have good family, but they can't fill a void that, that person can. And, God made us so that we could love each other and be together, not to be solitary all the time. And so it's difficult, but it's also difficult because I think, wow, if I got into a relationship, what am I giving up? What am I changing? And it's scary. It is scary sometimes, because I think, what if that person doesn't like who I am once they get to know me? And that's very hard, because I don't get close to people, and it's hard for people to get to know me or who I really am, and I have trouble trusting people. But eventually I can. And the person I care about now, I trust them. I trust them with all my secrets. And he definitely knows some of my secrets. But, yeah, and I think in my life, like I said, I've loved 3 people. I've only told 2 men in my life that I actually loved them. And, one of them didn't work out. One of them's still in limbo, and I never regretted it for a minute, because life is too short for regrets. And, I'm not going to say I don't feel a certain way when I do. And, it's one of those things that if I died tomorrow, I could say, you know what, I told that person that I cared about them and that I loved them. I couldn't control how they were going to react to it, But I got that off my chest, and I told them how I felt. And you never know when you're going to die. But, you've said it, and, that's as much as you can do sometimes. What else? I don't agree with cheating. If you are married or in a committed relationship, you should not be looking for someone else. You should be, not necessarily totally in love with, but devoted, or know that you're committed. If you're looking elsewhere, you shouldn't be in that relationship. And I hate it when people cheat on their spouse, no matter how badly their spouse is treating them, or things like that. Because the thing is, you're still betraying that person. You're still betraying their trust and their feelings. And sometimes people never recover from that. And, if you don't like the relationship you're in, get out of it. And then start looking. But not while you're with somebody. It ruins families. Kids don't get over that. Stuff like that. And that's one thing I really don't agree with. And there's been one other really big love in my life. It's different, but I am in love with my daughter Nora that I lost. I love her now, and I will always love her, even though I never got to see her. And I wish that I had someone else's daughter, because I don't want to have children of my own. I just don't think I could deal with it if I lost another one. It's very hard to go through. But everything happens for a reason, and I know she's in a safe place. But I wish that I had someone who had a daughter, and I could give them advice, hopefully good advice. Sometimes you can't always, I would try my best. And, to be that person that they confide in, and to tell them, things that I've gone through, to listen to their stories, and to comfort them when things don't always go the way that they want them to go. And I really wish that I had that in my life. Not to take the place of Nora, but because, I don't know, I thought I was going to have a daughter, and then I didn't. And so I wish that one day, there would be someone. There would be, someone's kids. But anyway, this video is probably getting pretty long. And I'm getting on my third cigarette now, and I hope it's not too long. But I wanted to read you some of my poems. You know what? I'm going to come back. I'm going to say goodbye on this one because I don't want it to be too long. So, now that we've chit-chatted about love and you're totally enough about the love, it is Valentine's Day after all. I will see you back here in just a few minutes. Bye.